Welcome to Awaken Sovereignty, a solo cast on ascension, shadow work, empowerment, and alignment with your highest purpose. I'm Chris Pinckley, spiritual coach and guide for those moving through deep awakening, transformation, and personal evolution. Let's begin. In this episode, I'm going to talk about the concept of how you do one thing is how you do everything. What this, in essence, means, or the idea here, is essentially aimed at those things that you do that are lesser than who you truly are, that actually have more of an energetic and potentially profound effect on the rest of your life than you know or you give credit to. An easy one is, how you behave in traffic. And we all get a little impatient. And there are those of us who get impatient, and there are those of us who get impatient with the people who are impatient. There's not a lot in between. And I've found that the ego can be just as big on either side of the coin, whether it's somebody who thinks that everybody should move out of their way, or whether it's somebody who thinks that that they're more important than all the people that are trying to get home. That person that drives slow in the left lane, and there could be a nurse right behind them who's just done a 24-hour shift and just wants to see her family. And now she has to drive, 35 and a 60 behind somebody who feels righteous and feels like they get off on controlling the people behind them. So they think it's funny, but really what it is they're getting off on controlling, which is all ego. They're not teaching anybody a lesson. They're just getting off on it. And of course, the flip side is somebody who just tailgates everybody to get them out of their way, egomaniac, and there's all kinds of in between. But the point is saying that a lot of people think they're exempt from this, but they're actually just as big of a culprit if they smugly think they're teaching somebody a lesson when they have no idea why that person is trying to get where they're trying to get to. You could be keeping somebody from getting to the hospital or getting home, a first responder from getting home to see their family after 3 days, fighting fires in the mountains. You don't know. So it's just all ego. And I'm not pointing fingers at anybody. I'm just trying to create awareness around the fact that, anytime you're trying to control or manipulate other people, that's through the ego. Whether it's outright brute force or whether it's manipulation. It's all ego. So that's an easy example. How does that affect the rest of your reality creation? How does that affect your business? Well, you can't separate that. So you take that energy with you, and that energy will play a role, whether it's small or large, and it trickles into, especially now more than ever, as the energy is shifting on the earth, and you really have to be pure with your intentions, right? The vibrations moving up, and things are not separate anymore. So your intentions create a ripple effect in your consciousness, and they go and they affect your entire energy field. And so that bit of control, manipulation, or ego, or brute force ego, whatever it is, can and will impact the rest of your reality to either a small or large degree. You could wonder why people don't react to you when you get to work in the morning the way you want if you just came through traffic and you just, were yelling and screaming at people. You still have that energy in your energy, on the more blatant side, you still have that energy in your energy field and people are reacting to it. On the subtle side, you carry that energy with you through to other interactions. People sense it and they don't want to be around it. It repels them. And so that's just a basic, easy way. But more complex ways could be an unresolved issue with your romantic, intimate life partner, whether it's a husband or wife or whoever that you have that is stressful and is always on your mind. That can affect the energy and the way that you are, conducting your marketing and your business or your meetings. Or if you're an athlete, you're performing, that'll definitely have an impact on you. Or you're an artist, it'll affect your artwork. Your creativity will absolutely be impacted by that, not in a positive way. The way you treat the janitor or the handyman at your workplace, the way that you treat the lowliest person is affecting the rest of how you treat everybody else. The universe records everything. So if you treat everybody else with respect and dignity, but you are dismissive and offhanded to the janitor or the maintenance person, the lawn care, the landscaper, whoever it is that seems to be, potentially representative of this lowly station, and you treat them disrespectfully or dismissively, that will affect overall, karmically and energetically, that will affect your ability to conduct your business. And so that's why it is really good to clear out your energy and to become aware of yourself and how you treat and interact with people, the unresolved issues you may have in your professional or personal life, and your habits and mannerisms when nobody else is watching. These things matter. And it is an absolute true statement that how you do one thing is how you do everything. So if you're after, you're trying to take advantage of people and have a pure profit over them, people will start to sense that and they'll start to run from you. Like animals, run from a predator in the wild. It might have worked before, because karma is slower, but it will not work now. You have to have a pure intention of service and of benefit to other people when you conduct your business. It's just a fact. Or you're not going to succeed in this new world. It just won't happen. You've got to love what you do, and you have to want to help people. You have to be confident and know that what you're doing, what you're offering, can and will help people, will benefit them. How you do one thing is how you do everything. So it behooves you to kind of scan yourself, to monitor yourself throughout the day. And just, what are my thoughts, words, and emotions? What are my intentions? What are my actions? How am I affecting the people around me? How do I come off to them? It doesn't mean, again, I always have to put this caveat. It doesn't mean to drop your boundaries and, give the homeless guy in the corner a sloppy kiss and a hug and, maybe get ringworm and, let some gnarly energy into your energy field. But at the same time, if you if you have $1 and you see them asking for money, you might give them $1 because you never know. It could make their day. It could be more powerful than the dollar. It could be the act of just knowing that somebody cares. So I'm no proponent of dropping your boundaries and letting somebody right through your energy, right into your energy. But I am a proponent of monitoring how you treat other people, how you treat animals, how you treat wildlife, nature, how you treat the planet. Obviously how you treat each other, how you treat your children, how you treat your significant other, how you treat your employees, your fellow executives or whoever it is that you are associating with. You can't say it enough. How you do one thing is how you do it. I know I'm saying it over and over again, but it's a good mantra. It's a good mantra. Another element to look at is, are you trying to rush through something to get it done? Because if you're not being with the project, if you're not infusing whatever it is that you're doing, if you're not infusing it with love and energy, then it might not create the yield or the bounty or the results that you want. Because how you do one thing is how you do everything. And if you're rushing through it, then you're not being with it, then you're not caring about it, you're not infusing it, you're only interested in the outcome, and that energy will carry through to people and they will not be interested in what you're offering. So make sure that you stay with it, that if you infuse your projects with love, integrity, honesty, and goodwill. And if you do these things, you are much, much more likely to reap some benefit from that. So I think that'll do it for this episode. As per always, take good care, and we'll talk to you soon. If this episode resonated with what you're moving through, and you're interested in private spiritual coaching around awakening, emotional integration, shadow work, relationships, boundaries, or building a soul-led life and business, email me directly at rc101coaching@gmail.com with the word coaching in the subject line. You can also find the contact link in the show notes. Follow Awaken Sovereignty for future episodes and share this with someone moving through their own awakening. This is Chris Pinckley. Stay awake, stay aligned, stay sovereign.